everyone, this is going to be your pre-lab lecture for experiment number 9, dehydration of cyclohexanol. This is a little bit weird because your syllabus said something at the beginning, but it's been updated. So for group A, you guys have just completed this experiment and it was for the week of October 26th through the 30th. And then for group B, you guys will be completing this lab the week of November 2nd through the 6th. So I just wanted to clarify that we are doing lab 9. Okay, so let's get started. As always, make sure you guys read the PDF file provided for your lab manual. Make sure you watch these videos. They are a little bit different to what we do in lab, but they definitely do help to understand more or less what we are doing, so definitely read them. This one right here is really good for the bromine test, so I would definitely watch all of these. Afterwards, your pre-lab notebook, make sure you bring it to class, complete. Your pre-lab quiz, make sure you complete that, and it is before every Wednesday at 8 in the morning. Make sure you guys turn that in on time or your participation points will get deducted. Make sure you turn in your post-lab notebook before Sunday at 11:59, and for group C, this is the data that you're going to be using. Okay. Okay, dehydration of cyclohexanol. So alcohols can be turned into alkenes. Alcohols may be dehydrated under acid catalyzed conditions to form alkenes. In the presence of phosphoric acid, which is what we're going to be using, dehydrations involve the initial protonation of the hydroxyl group, converting it to an excellent leaving group. So as we can see right here, we have an alcohol, and it's going to get protonated, and afterwards we're going to have a very good leaving group. Water is going to leave. We're going to get a carbocation, and as a result we're going to be getting the alkene. Loss of water occurs, which results in the highly reactive carbocation that I was talking about, and it stabilizes itself by eliminating a proton from the adjacent carbon to then give the alkene. Okay, so the objectives for this lab are to synthesize cyclohexene from cyclohexanol, and then to confirm the presence of the alkene using the bromine test. So for our procedure, this is very important. For those of you who already came to lab, you saw that this procedure took a very long time and we actually didn't get to finish it completely, which is completely fine. But for this next lab that's going to come in, I do want to complete it. That way you guys can get your own data. So I have decided to more or less explain the procedure. That way it goes a little bit faster because you guys need to come prepared. You guys can't really rely on me telling you the whole procedure. You guys definitely need to know what you're doing. So for part 1, we are going to set up fractional distillation and we're going to collect our distillate. And then for part 2, we will add sodium carbonate and transfer to a separatory funnel where we will drain the lower aqueous layer. After that, in the separatory funnel, we're going to have our cyclohexene, and then we're going to drain that in a small dry distilling flask, and we're going to dry it with calcium chloride. Then we're going to decant that and set up simple distillation. So remember, first part, fractional, now we have simple distillation. So you guys need to know what the setup for both of them are. Afterwards, we're going to collect distillate from simple distillation. Then we're going to determine the weight of the product and calculate the percent yield. So some questions you guys have to keep in mind while doing this experiment. Should you guys be weighing your flasks? Why are you guys expecting to do this? Why are we decanting? Why are we adding drying agents? These are questions that you definitely want to keep in mind for your conclusion. Afterwards, we're going to test the reaction of the product with the bromine test. Your pre-lab calculations, you need your percent yield, not percent recovery, percent yield, and you need to include the reaction. This right here is our reaction. Okay, so for post-lab questions, I have created sort of a chart. Now, this chart is not perfect. Maybe you guys want to include something else. I'm not saying to use this exactly how it comes. Make sure you guys adjust it to see if it is okay, if you guys need to add something else, if it matches with the data provided. But this is just an example of what your data table should look like, but still you should include your percent yield and you should include your math, not just fill out the chart, okay? changes for this lab, we're going to use calcium chloride to dry. There will be no IR analysis, and the columns will not be packed, so we will not be using rings this time. Okay, some very quick reminders, your post-lab questions. A lot of people have been putting their post-lab questions before their conclusions, and this is not how your lab report should look like. Your conclusion should come first, and then your post-lab questions. Please keep that in mind. If not, points will actually be getting deducted for that. Now, there is an extra credit, which I will talk a little bit about because I want to show it to you guys. Also, come prepared to lab, super important. Like I said, you guys cannot be depending on me telling you the whole procedure because that's not how it's supposed to be. You guys definitely have to work for your grade. Also, you must clean as you go. Like I said, this is a very long lab. So if you clean as you go, you might be able to leave early, and the cleaning part of the lab is not going to be as hectic as it always is. Make sure you turn in your quiz and your lab reports on time. That is super important. And okay, so let me talk a little bit about the extra credit really fast. So we go to our Canvas site. I'm not sure what it's under, to be honest. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so there is two types of extra credit. There is the discussion, which gives you 5 points, and then there is a board that gives you 10 points. So for the additional 5 points, you just have to answer these questions in the discussion. And then for the extra 10 points, you have to do a poster board that shows an experiment that could be done at home. I just wanted to point that out. It is some easy points that you guys can get, and it'll bump your grade up. So if you guys are interested, make sure you guys do these. And those are all the announcements I have, and I'm pretty sure I explained the whole experiment. So make sure you guys come prepared to lab, and I'll see you then. Bye.